What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and to finish today, I want to talk about the a topic that many of you asked me to cover just a few days ago, and that is what had happened in the anime world. I had to get a crash course on KyoAni and some of the shows that they had produced. I've said many times that I am not a deep lore expert on anime, but I do know that a lot of my viewers found this topic to be important and asked me to cover it, which I did the best I could. Probably only mispronounced 75% of the TV show names. Now, here is where I get to shine, though, because I get to cover now how the media is spinning the KyoAni situation to be about women. That's right. World destroyed, women most affected. Now you've seen, I've been sent a deluge of, pop culture and movie news and video news, or anime news, covering this exact same angle. It started, I believe, with a tweet by CNN saying, KyoAni has been a major force for spreading anime, both inside and outside of Japan. In an industry dominated by men, what? Insert record scratch. What does that have to do with anything? We're talking about television shows. We're talking about movies. We're talking about, more specifically, a situation that has nothing to do with either one of those. It had a reputation for employing more women than many of its competitors, one expert writes. An expert. Interesting. Now, I have to say, I'm trying to remain somewhat measured here, but if you've known me, you know that I have a special place for dunking on these morons. I enjoy it greatly because what they say and do literally disgusts me. This had nothing to do with men or women. But you might be saying, Jeremy, come on. It's just one. The impact of Kyoto Animation, 5 things you must know. The first thing, it was a progressive work environment. What? Japan Fire, mostly women at studio, known for hiring them. New York Times. Majority affected women in grudge-fueled Kyoto animation. What? What? How? What? Why does this matter? And there is tons more. How about USA Today? Majority of those affected in Kyoto animation were women. Why? Do you think any of these exist if it were mostly men? It doesn't matter. This is USA Today, New York Times, CNN, every small progressive anime blog. Most of those affected in Kyoto anime were bright young women. Doesn't matter. New York Times. Okay, so maybe it started with the New York Times. Let's start with that article. Where is it? Here. No, that's Forbes. Here. A day after the situation at Kyoto Animation left 34 behind, a neighbor, the 81-year-old Ken I'm not even going to try, remembered seeing several women jump from the building. They were so badly injured that, I mean, obviously that's horrible. But what about the fact that they were women? By the way, we now know and have confirmed what I speculated in my original video covering this. I speculated that it was somebody who felt like the studio had like taken one of their show ideas or their book ideas or their movie ideas or something like that. Japanese news reports citing an unnamed source that he told police that he started it because he believed the studio, Kyoto Animation, stole a novel from him. He's also being treated for an unspecified mental illness, the report, which cited an unidentified source. As of Friday, none of the names of the people had been released. Well, what was known was almost 2/3 of them, 20, were women. Think of the stretch here. Almost 2/3, 20 out of 34. It's hardly even statistically significant. You move 3 one way or the other, and it's about right down the middle. But no, it's about men. Male animators still lead the industry, but they outnumber women among animators over 35. Mr. Okada said, but Kyoto Animation, known as KyoAni to its fans, is known for employing more women, particularly younger women. I doubt most fans of the animation studio know that or care about it. They care about the product. I don't know who makes my, random headphones or sugar-free Red Bull or whatever the case may be. Don't care. More than half of the workers in the building affected were women. Why? Why does any of this matter? Is the implication that no one would care because if they were just men? I don't know. Who's saying that? Who's saying that? And then you get hot takes like this. I just don't get it. How are huge hordes of people irate at headlines like this? It's a statement of fact. Is women having a place in the anime industry like KyoAni good? Really so controversial? This is what, I don't know, there's probably some fancy name for it. But this is deliberately misunderstanding what people are upset about. No, nobody's mad. This is a straw man at minimum. Nobody's mad that they mentioned that women exist. I'm sorry. They're mad that it doesn't matter that you're using such a terrible situation to promote your own, I don't know, beliefs, push an agenda. It's just like when we talk about in video games. There's a deliberate misunderstanding of the whole, we don't want you pushing an agenda in our video games. So we say this, and then the games journalists, the blue check marks in the video game industry, come back and say, oh, you have a problem with women now? Ooh, I knew it. Oh, you don't like POCs? Everything we ever said about you is true. That's not what we're saying. It's never been what we're saying. If somebody's saying that, well, I don't represent them. And they're wrong, all right? If you care about what the person looks like that makes your cartoon, you're an idiot, all right? That's just a fact. I don't think there's many people out there that really believe that. However, outlets continually write it like that's what the majority of us believe. That's what those that push back against agenda in video games believe, and it's not. This is the same type of thing. These people are so incredibly, inconceivably, mind-shatteringly fragile that the mere suggestion that a studio is good for employing an outsized number of women in the industry of mostly men forces them to weigh in with their whining. No. Again, purposely misunderstanding why people don't like this. I mean, the bodies aren't even cold yet. And you're making this about gender. Look at the replies to this. I believe it's ratio time. This CNN reporter, Susan Napier, standing on the bodies in front of their grieving families to tell you about gender politics. What is wrong with your people? What is wrong with you people? When old media starts going belly up, I hope and Fox go bankrupt simultaneously. Dominated by men, traditionally aimed at men. Very, very hard and misleading language. There are tons of great women in this industry who drive it forward and get tons of recognition for doing so. Don't erase them for your agenda. Why use this to push an agenda? This is why you're America's least trusted source. None of these, notice how none of these replies are like women. But that's what all of these clowns try to spin it as every single time. It's not about the statement itself, and more the fact that they released such an article just hours after it happened. It shows they want to exploit the recent situation to push their ideas. Besides, KyoAni is one of the studios that employs the most women. And the world is coming together. 53,000 people have now helped. It's up to almost $2 million. That's very heartwarming to see. No amount of money will ever bring these people back. But I understand fans, friends, family. What can you do? It's just like we saw with Star Wars, that Star Wars girl, Anna. Something bad happened to somebody. You know that money isn't going to bring anything back, but it may make life a little easier, or it may like help people not fall behind while they're grieving. This is why nobody reads USA Today. I mean, are you kidding me? This is what we're going to be spinning this as. Not that the animation studio that put out Lucky Star and KyoAni and Violet Evergarden, it's also done secondary animation work on the 1998 Pokemon feature, which appeared in US theaters, and a Winnie the Pooh video. We're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about whether or not they were women. Disgusting. Anybody writing these articles should be ashamed of themselves. Anybody publishing these articles should be out of business very soon. Disgusting.